Hello friends, welcome to Borthakur's IAS Academy. Today I am going to take a very important topic of Ashokan period, that is the architecture of the Ashokan period. And one such feature is the Buddhist architecture, inside which we will find about the Stupas or the Stups. Ashok, after the war of Kaling, was completely disheartened, and his edict number 13 talks about how he has been disheartened with the war of Kaling. The war of Kaling was very much instrumental in Ashok's life because after the war of Kaling, Ashok adopted Buddhism. Many historians has given various kinds of opinions regarding Ashok's adoption of Buddhism, but most accepted theory is Ashok accepted Buddhism only after the war of Kaling because he has seen such a huge destruction, such a huge casualties, so that his heart has melted, and at last he has to find a compassionate religion. And as we all know that Buddhism during the Mauryan period and all other heterogeneous sects was flourishing immensely in the Indian subcontinent. As we know, Chandragupta Maurya has adopted Jainism. It is a different sect. It is like Buddhism. We'll talk about Jainism in our upcoming classes. So Ashok, after the war of Kaling, by seeing so much of destruction, he became compassionate, he became loving, and he has adopted Buddhism. So Ashok's adoption of Buddhism is very much important from the civil service point of view. Ashok's Dhamma, Ashokan architecture, Mauryan bureaucracy, these all topics are very much important from the civil service point of view. But today I have come with a particular topic, that is the Buddhist architecture, which was being embraced by the ruler Ashok, and an important topic is the Stupas. The Stupas, what are the Stupas? It is a structure, it is a Buddhist structure which is like a mound. The Stupa is like a mound. I think you all have seen, you have gone to places like Varanasi, you have gone to places like Sachi, where you have seen a big structure, Buddhist structure, having a large cylindrical type of structure, which we call the Stupas. The Stupas is very important from UPSC's point of view, because sometimes in the examination, in the prelims as well as in the mains examination, they used to ask you some objective questions as well as some subjective questions from the Stupas. So the Stupas is a mount-like structure containing Buddhist relics. Buddhist relics means the Buddhist inscriptions, the tales from the Jatakas, various kinds of yakshas, yakshinis, which we will discuss in the picture below. So construction, if we see it consists of the brickwork, surface of the dome finished off with a thick layer of lime water. So it is an important Buddhist structure which is being made of bricks. Please note it down, it is very important. This structure is purely made of bricks and most probably unburnt bricks. So the part of the Stupas, if we see the Stupa, I think you all have gone to places, you have visited the places, and you have seen a picture like this, a structure like this, and I think you all have been very much curious to know exactly what is it. So this is what I was talking about today. It is the Stupa. It is a very important aspect in the religion of Buddhism. It is very important aspect in the art and architecture of India. It is very important in the topic for civil service examination. So this is what is the Stupa looks like. And I hope many of you have visited the Stupa, but I want to give you some information from the civil service point of view. So this is what the Stupa looks like, and the Stupa has some got, different kind of structures within it, and it has got a different kind of names. If we see the main Stupa, first of all we will see the great dome-like structure. This is a dome-like structure. Okay, so this is very important. It is made of unburnt bricks. Okay, so this is a great dome-like structure which is being made of unburnt bricks. Basically, I will say you what is inside the stupas. Many of you might be curious that what is inside the stupas, as even I was. But after discussing of this, I will tell you what is exactly inside the stupas or what is beneath the stupas. So this is an exactly cylindrical structure which is being made of unburnt bricks. This is called an important term, very important for civil service, called the und. ANDA, it's spelled as the und. Okay? It is the main part of the stupa. Then we will come about to the next part, which is we call the Toran, the Torana. The Torana or the Toran is a very important part, which is the gateway, which is the gate. Okay, so this Toran has got various kind of relics, various kind of images, various kinds of inscriptions, but most famously it has got relics or it has got images of what we call yakshas and yakshinis. Yakshas and yakshinis formed a major part of archaeological importance during the Mauryan time. So it has got images of yakshas and yakshinis. Yakshas and yakshinis is being derived, the terms are being derived from the Indian mythology. So this is the Toran. This Toran has got images, but not only particularly they will be having images of yakshas or yakshinis, but they can have images or they can have relics or they can have inscriptions of the Jatakas. The Jatakas are the tales in Buddhism which deals with the previous life of Lord Buddha. So this is called the Toran or the main gateway. I hope it is clear for you. Next part what we are going to see is, it is called the upper part. It is called the Chhatri or the Chhatrasphere. It is very important. It looks like an umbrella which is having three important parts. So it is as in our temples we have the shikhar part. In our temples, our Indian temples, Nagar style of temple have a shikhar. This is called the shikhar part. Okay, it's called the shikhar part. In the same way, the uppermost part of the stupa is called the Chhatri or Chhatrasphere. It is very much important. They can ask you this kind of terms in the examination. Then next we will talk about where this Chhatrasphere rests. It's called the Harmik. Okay, so it is also designed in such a way that all the stupas will be having the same kind of structure like the Chhatrasphere, the Harmik, the Und and the Torah. So this is very much important. The next part what we come about, this is the enclosure wall, and the next part is called the Medi. Okay, so this Medi what we are talking about is the circumambulatory part, which means Pradakshina part. It is Pradakshina part. In Hinduism what we talk about, Pradakshina or circumambulatory part is very much important. As you can see, whenever we go to temples, whenever we go to some religious places, we used to do Pradakshina. So Pradakshinam has got lot of relevance even in Buddhism as well as in Jainism and some kind of sects. So this circumambulatory part or Pradakshina part is called the Medi, where the Buddhist monks used to come to pay homage to the great saints for whom these stupas are being built, and then they used to do circumambulation or they used to do Pradakshina. As you can see, this is called the Medi, which is called the circumambulatory part or the Pradakshina part. The Buddhist monks used to do productions of this stupa to pay homage to the great saints on behalf of whom these stupas are being built. So this Medi forms a very important part of the stupas architectures. Then we will come about to the next thing, which is the enclosure wall. This is the enclosure wall which will be enclosing. This wall encloses. This wall will be enclosing the stupa, which will give it a protection. So now the question comes, why is the stupa being built? What is inside the stupa? See, these stupas are being built in memory of Buddhist monks and Buddhist saints. When Buddha died, he was being cremated and all the ashes of Buddha was being distributed, and above the ashes various kinds of stupas were being built. Ashok has instructed that from the ashes of Buddha various kinds of stupas to be built in various parts of India, and we can see that this practice was very much prevalent during the Mauryan period, also was prevalent during the Gupta age, during the early Gupta age period. That whenever a Buddhist monk died, whenever a Buddhist saint used to die, he used to be cremated, and his cremation, his ashes of the body which was being cremated used to be taken to a place, and then it was being buried down, and above it the stupa used to be made. That is what it is. It is like a burial site of the crematory ashes. So this stupa holds very important aspect in terms of your civil service examination. So knowing all the names, important names of the important parts of the stupa, like the and, what I have discussed about the Harmic, I have discussed about the Chhatri, I have discussed about the Vedic, or the stone railing or the wooden railing. It's also called Vedic actually. It's also called enclosure wall, is also called the Vedic. Okay, so this is called the enclosure wall, it's also called the Vedic. So these all important terms, the Vedic, the Toranas what I have discussed are the gateways where you can find yakshas and yakshinis inscriptions. It's very important. Then I have talked about Medi, which is very important, which is a circumambulatory path to where the monks used to pay homages, where the monks used to pay respect to the Buddhist saints. So this Medi, how we can approach this Medi? What I have talked about, I have said about this Medi. So to go to this Medi, there are some kind of staircases through which the monks used to go, and then they used to go for the circumambulatory path. They used to do circumambulation, they used to do pradakshinaams. Clear? So now we can see some important example of a great stupa, which is the Sanchi stupa, which is very, very important for examination point of view. And you try to find out which stupas are very important, like Barhut stupa, Sanchi stupa. What are the important stupas? You can see the locations of the places where the stupas are being built, where the stupas are being preserved by the Archaeological Survey of India. So whenever you visit places which contains stupa, it is must to go. You just go and see, you just go and witness the peace there, you just go and witness the spiritualness there. You will find a lot of peace and happiness, and once you are well aware of why the stupa was being built, what is inside the stupa, what are the different names of the different dimensions of the stupa, you will know it very well. And in present India, Archaeological Survey of India has taken this responsibility of preserving all the stupas so that generations to come can visit and see this very well. So with this, I hope your confusion is being cleared, and in the upcoming days I'll be taking 1 or 2 important topics of Mauryan archaeology. Thank you so much. Subscribe to Borthakur's IAS Academy. Thank you. Have a great day. Borthakur IAS Academy.